Alright, so last time, 2 weeks ago, it doesn't feel like it's been 2 weeks actually, it feels like it was just last week. It's been quick. Um, so, when you guys arrived at Ka Maluhia, you were uh, told by Kommena that her daughters had gone missing. You quickly jumped into action, following down some individuals to the Dirt Cross Domain Warehouse district, where you guys kind of looted some information from a warehouse office. You guys split up to kind of follow up on your own individual tasks, securing transportation, uh, turning in individuals to the authorities, as well as bringing back your friend Nathan. Um, you guys, in the end, uh, quickly had to sell off some of the items you had gotten to pay for transportation, which led you into a jail. You fought your way out of being put in cells. You released a few prisoners. You found a magical ship in a bottle. and you now have a ship of your very own, with 3 crew members who are supportive of you and helped you sail from the Ka Maluhia jail all the way to Mallhaven, which took about a week. And on your way, you found a shipwreck. Uh, upon going to shore, you found a few odd little creatures. I believe you captured 1, maybe 2. And so, with that, you guys finished your journey to to Mallhaven, and immediately were asked to pay a few different fines. One for not having a name on the side of your ship, which was quickly corrected with a little bit of burning. And I can't remember what you guys named it.
Bottle, I think.
The
At least that
bottle.
was my suggestion.
Yep, the bottle.
Everyone's cool with that.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Uh, so you guys named it the bottle. And then you guys went ahead and paid for a week of docking. You were guided to where the slave trade, or the slave auction happens, and went ahead and decided to pursue that avenue, as well as finding some lodging for the week. You went ahead and prepaid your lodging for the week, and you went to investigate the auction house. You talked with an individual behind a desk, and trying to get them to reveal who bought the girls, or that the specific girls were still in their possession. You found out two different individuals bought a girl each, and with a little bit of deception, you guys were able to get her away from the books long enough for, I believe, for Azan.
Mancini, right?
Mancini was outside. I think it was
Oh, that's right. You
Azan.
left doing the distracting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then he came in and assisted with distracting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Azan was the one that saw the stamps, or the seals of the houses. And so, you guys, it's late. We're making your way back to the tavern.
Oh, real quick, how many weeks until we need to be back to the Druids then?
You have 3 weeks to be back at the Druids from the time
So
you arrive here at Mallhaven. So yeah.
So really 2 weeks, because it takes a week to sail there.
Exactly.
And then
Okay,
we take
thank
1 week of downtime activities and then level up. Then we've got 1 week to get these girls.
Well, hopefully we can level up. The downtime activities can lead us to the girls, and then
So yes, that is the plan, is that some of this downtime you are going to be gathering more information about where the girls are, along with your downtime activities.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So, I am just going to go ahead and let's do this. I am going to join you guys on the landing page. I'm going to drop the characters down here. And alright. First things first, lock you guys in place. Please go ahead and roll initiative. Obviously, this is not for a fight, as much as it is for determining what order you guys are acting in. Alright, so, Mancini, with your downtime activities, what would you like to do?
I'm pretty sure I was going to sow some rumors about the auction house.
That is right. You were going to sow some rumors. If you would be ever so kind to pop that out. Let's see here. On your character sheets, underneath actions, downtime. Oh, there is a gossip one in there.
There's gossip. Yeah, so rumor is a feat. It looks like.
Oh, okay. If I can go ahead. Oh, attempt a normal, hard, or very hard diplomacy check. Ooh. She. Seeing how the reputation of this place is, I'm gonna set the DC. Yeah, right about there. Oh wait, hold up. There's actually a chart I can use. That'll make this a little bit easier. Oh, perfect. We'll just go with that. Alright. Yeah, that's actually the DC I was thinking anyways. Cool. Alright, so DC is set. If you would not mind rolling a diplomacy check for me. I should begin talking and wooing and trying to spread gossip about the auction house. Excellent. Alright, I'm just going to pop this out, that way I can remember that that was the action taken. Alright. After the first night at a few of the different inns and taverns, people are kind of catching on about how you feel and how you're talking about the auction house. Let's see, who was next on here? Ko, what are we doing for your downtime here?
I would have been a mix of gathering information. Wait. They help me with the rumors? I know I'm leveling up. I know that part, but I could. I think I'm going to be trying to track down the girls with like society or something.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. All right. So kind of like the bounty hunter searching for. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we know the crests.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So I'm just throwing out suggestions here. They have an action called Gain Contact.
There's gain contact. Yeah.
Might apply.
There's also scouting locations. But yeah, I definitely agree that a society check would be the most applicable for like tracking them down. This would be kind of like day one stuff anyway, so yeah. Society check, go ahead and roll that for me if you would.
Okay.
Perfect. And it actually really does help that you're from Dirtcross, and so
Mallhaven.
Mallhaven specifically, so that really helps. As you are learning more, or looking at these and learning a little bit more about the individuals here in Mallhaven, it takes you not terribly long to identify these two crests, because you've had to do some work for them in the past, and so you recognize that it is the two crests are for the Draven estate and the Rydia estate. Both of which have some relatively strong reputations around them. So, with that, we will go ahead and we'll go over to William. Oh, I never did click begin encounter. Begin. Haha. Alright. William, your turn. What would you like to do with your downtime activity for the first day?
Assuming leveling up is happening automatically through everything.
Yes. Yep. So you guys
I'm
go ahead and just use your level 2 stuff, not everything. So.
cool. I am going to scout location.
All right.
I would like to scout either one of the residences or the auction house in order to
Okay.
better get a lay of the land and figure out how to get the girls.
All right. Just because Ko is kind of coming to the realization of who the purchasers are on the first day, I would say the first day we could do the auction house, and then the other 6 days you could go and start scouting out the other locations.
Sounds good. I got to gain a contact as well, so.
Yep, so let's go ahead and we will start with your scouting a location. So if you would please either roll perception, society, or stealth. Very good. Keeping an eye out on the auction house, you see a number of individuals coming and going, moving about. Though one thing does catch your attention. On one of the days, an individual, or on that first day, an individual leaves with a crate out of that office building. You didn't see this crate before, but it's a smaller crate, and it seems to have some sort of snake burned into the side of it. And it's a rather small crate, definitely way too small for an individual, or, well, possibly for some sort of tiny fey thing, but there's no holes that you can visibly see.
Got it. Small snake crate.
And we will jump over to Nathan. Nathan, what would you like to do for your downtime? I am not able to hear you, Julian. Are the rest of you able to hear Julian?
No,
That'd be a
Okay. Because I know I heard you earlier, Julian, but I just don't hear you right now, which is weird. Volume is up. Alright, yep. We'll come back to you then. Sounds fair. That'll bring us to the end of the day. Now, at the end of the day, you guys are able to regather, regroup, talk out what you have gone through the day, figure out how to proceed with the next days. So what kind of plan or strategy do you guys want to come up with now, knowing who these parties are, knowing that a crate was taken from the auction house when everything else just seemed to be normal business, with people now recognizing your guys' deal with the auction house. Alright, and then Julian, since you said you think you've got it fixed, let's hear your area.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I have a removable talkie portion, the microphone,
Ah, yep,
and I guess it just got dirty. Like I leave it on my tower when I'm not using it.
yep.
So I just like clean the contacts, and it's because like you said, I said hi earlier, and it was working.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyway, so when we first got here, you mentioned the ships. That we wouldn't be able to know exactly where. Like the guy that we paid to dock, he wouldn't. It was like confidential that they couldn't tell us where um, the ship we were looking for was docked, or if they were docked, or any details about them. So I'm wondering if I could like scope out some information
Absolutely.
in that meantime, like sort of trying to figure out talking to people on the docks, like actually walking up and down the gangway. I don't know what you call it,
The
waterfront
pier.
area.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the waterfront. Yep.
like
All that.
looking
Definitely.
at the names of ships or which one.
If you would go ahead and make me a perception, society, or stealth check for that, as you are scouting out this location.
I think society is probably my better one of those. Private or
Yeah.
blind?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do blind. As you are looking out and about, there are quite a few ships, and you find yourself getting caught up in more conversations and learning fun and interesting facts, more so than you do find out about the snake. And so you
Gotcha.
do not end up finding its location.
So now are we all together planning in the evening?
Yes. So now you're all able to gather back up and regroup and discuss a plan of action for the next day.
So I'll tell everyone that I saw a courier or an employee taking a small crate with a snake crest emblazoned on it away from the auction house.
I figured out who the two estates are that purchased the girls. Well, Dravina, the other one, Liridia.
I didn't find anything out. I'm sorry. I'm a bad detective.
Well, I shit talked the auction house for a while.
How'd that go?
Seems pretty good. People generally don't seem to love the place to start with.
Did you get the rumor started about them potentially selling illegal goods?
I mean, I started. I guess we'll see how it takes.
Okay.
So you know the houses of Draven and Viridia. Do you happen to know their crest? Is either one of them a snake? Because that would corroborate the illicit goods rumor, if it's even a rumor.
So you actually have their crests. Or no, you don't have the crests, but you saw the crests. Um, Azan did. And neither one of them has a snake in them.
Well, okay then.
Um,
The ship, though, was called the Snake.
Hmm.
Oh, right.
As Azan kind of describes the crests, the Draven one almost looks like it has a cross in it with some sort of wings from an animal. The Viridia one seems to have like a sun and plants growing about it.
Wait, is it Laridia or Viridia?
Viridia.
Uh,
And what did you say it was plants and what?
Uh, a sun with plants all around it.
what was the first one?
A cross with wings.
Now, are they small wings like on the medical crest, the Caticus, or are they like bigger wings?
They are bigger.
Oh,
So, what should our next move be? Start with checking out the estates, maybe?
yeah, we should definitely scout out the estates. I think if anybody's good at like maybe creating a forgery, documents proving that the girls are free and didn't come willingly, that could help a lot.
I am not your guy for that. That's going to be skilled at deception.
Yeah, I can't do. I'm not good at society, oddly enough.
Society's not a skill, it's deception.
Deception or thievery.
Well, I can do deception if we need.
Yeah.
Oh, but I have a 0 society, so definitely not that.
Yeah, got a. I'm very perceptive, so I think I'll definitely be scouting one of the locations.
Yeah, same. I have assurance with survival, so that means I get a base. So,
Hey, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. I've just been on a little settings journey. How's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Good.
So,
Don's been role playing. It's been funny.
so you guys were able to do some scouting for the first day. Ko was able to recognize the uh, family crests that were stamped into the book that you saw as the Draven and Viridia families, or the estates. Um, Mancini started to spread the rumors about the auction house and how they were illegally selling individuals. Um, William was able to scout out the auction house and saw that a individual took a crate out of the office that you guys didn't see before, and it had a serpent emblazoned upon it. And then Nathan went to learn some more about the ship called the Snake, but was pulled into many different conversations that were quite enlightening, but or more intellectually enlightening and curiosities than actually helpful. So, yeah, they had a good first day.
Very cool.
And so the group has now gathered back up at the tavern at the end of the first day and are talking about their plans for the next.
The one thing I'm mildly concerned about, and it happened for some time, just want to share this with you guys before we go too much further. What if we're chasing after a group of girls that actually legally decided to do this?
Then if we get to that point, it's like it sucks, but at least we have something to tell the mothers. Not the mothers, the mother. But if not, like I'd rather put in all this effort and have that result than just leaving them to whatever fate, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd rather this be a misunderstanding than not. If they needed the help, you know.
Yeah, I really just wanted to voice it just in case.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't tell their mother if that were the case.
I mean,
Well, and how many people want to be sold into slavery?
That was my thought too.
maybe like they were trying to save the mom's inn or some shit. Who knows?
All right. Well, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
Burn the bridge. Okay. Okay.
All right. With that, it sounds like a plan has been coordinated, and so we will go on to the second day.
Wait, what's the plan?
Um, a few of you were going to scout out. One of you was going to work on forging some documents. Another was going to work on spreading more rumors, and I believe there was also a plan to um, gain a contact of sorts.
Before we move further,
Ah.
there is a pantograph gauntlet that I'd like to equip on my dude
Oh yes.
in the stash. If you're cool with that.
I really wish that I had an attack that could use that because that is the greatest item I've seen.
I forgot we had a stash.
The black powder knuckle dusters are what I would love to use, but you have to have martial weapon training. I'm never going to have that, so.
But you can use the monk weapons?
Yep.
I mean, believe in yourself. You might have it one day.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, and also if you wanted to sell any of those items, you're more than welcome to find a merchant, as there are many merchants within Mallhaven. So you should not have too much of any issue selling goods.
I fully support liquidating assets. We should all just give it a look through, make sure that we don't want anything or want to save anything, and then just sell the rest if everyone else agrees.
I don't think there was anything I was looking at right now. We fully identified everything, right?
Yes, everything was identified. It looks like for the most part you guys already divvied out any and all potions. Yeah, it's just basically the armor, weaponry, anybody who uses sling, arrows, or bolas, or bolts. But I don't think any of you use crossbows or bows. And then obviously the treasure stuff you guys can just sell and get the money for. So. But yeah, I will let you guys decide what to do with all those items, as that is yours. So.
I also dropped my. I don't.
Your mic cuts out. What did you say?
Oh, I dropped my dagger in the stash so we can sell it. If you guys want, I kind of know my way around Mallhaven, so I could introduce somebody to them, but I feel like we need our charisma dude who's busy forging things, so I could sell stuff instead. And does
Or I
nobody
could
want the
forge. I could
+1
forge
cold iron
items.
short trade?
Well,
Oh
wouldn't it
no,
be
we
better
want
to
the
have the
forgery.
forgeries when we meet them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good call.
Okay.
Nobody wants the +1 cold iron short sword with electricity or whatever.
Spark blade.
Pardon me, but what's being
I'd love to
forged?
transfer that to my katana.
Can you
It's
do
a
that? There's
unique
runes and
item. I
stuff,
don't
right?
think you can. You
Yeah.
Can
can
I get
probably
it
do the
reforged?
+1, but the cold iron, no.
Can I get it
And this,
reforged in the shape of a katana?
it's the size of a wakizashi, though.
Then I'll add more metal.
Um, unfortunate is extending it out. That would probably take a bit of work from a smith, or yeah, a blacksmith with the cold iron and the resources to do so.
So, like, if I was to hypothetically attempt to throw gold at this, how much would that cost? Because I wouldn't mind having a spark katana.
I would say about. I would say probably 25 gold.
Well, I definitely don't have that, but
But the party has a
I
lot of
think,
stuff to sell.
yeah, so if everyone's okay with it, I'd love to get my share of the loot and the spark blade to reforge the katana. Because a +1 cold iron sparking,
We'll put
uh,
the spark blade on you, and then I can go sell this other stuff.
sounds good. I will track that too.
And Nathan, you sure you don't want the caster's charge?
Uh, I'm looking at it now. I don't see what it's a martial weapon.
Oh, interesting.
So it's got the inscribed crate, which means you can put a scroll on it, basically. And yeah, it's a shield, but you can inscribe a scroll on the inside, so it's like an extra storage space for a scroll you don't have to pull out. It's just available.
I guess just to have it. Am I proficient with it though? Like
Yes,
I see it. It says it as a martial weapon.
that doesn't make any sense.
Right?
I mean, everybody's proficient with shields. I know that.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought everyone could just use a shield. I didn't think there was a proficiency for it.
Yeah. Well, so there's a proficiency to use it as a weapon, which you wouldn't be doing. You'd be using it for defense only, or as the free scroll.
Hmm.
You need something like the Bastion subclass or fighter. Use it as a weapon.
Well, maybe you could spend some money to get the your shield inscribed. Then you don't have to worry about the martial thing.
Well, so
I,
all shields say martial weapon on it,
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah,
and
that.
I know that I can use a shield. I don't have martial weapon training.
Okay, that does make sense then. Okay. So it's only if you were to use it as a weapon, then it's a martial weapon. Gotcha. Okay.
If you want it, take it out of the stash, Nathan.
okay.
And then nobody else needs any other armaments out of there.
A black knuckle duster is kind of cool for Azan, maybe.
We can also just take it and sell the rest of the stuff. We don't need to necessarily get rid of everything. They're not going to be super heavy alone.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have to get rid of anything, really. Well, maybe some of it.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to do a spark blade thing, so
Yep. William just needs to get his 25 gold so he can upgrade his spark blade from a short sword to a katana.
I figured I'd sell shit and then split the loot up with you guys, and then you could figure out what to do from there.
Yeah. I
I'm
Yeah.
mean,
kind of unclear. if I can use the knuckle dusters, but I want to hold on to them until I figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, just
Yeah,
put it in your sheet.
let's see. It's interesting because it doesn't have the monk feat or monk trait on it, which I would expect knuckle dusters to have.
They're a martial weapon. Maybe it's because they use black powder. It's the only reason. It's like anybody can punch with a gun.
Well, I mean, monks aren't trained with martial weapons either.
That is correct. I am proficient in my fist.
And simple. So. Oh, it does have a reload, so it does shoot. Interesting. That's probably why, because it is a firearm.
Just
And
punch a bullet
also,
at someone.
the martial artist has a uh, stance for this, a black powder knuckle duster stance.
All right, cool. So,
I'll go sell the rest of this shit.
yep, lighten the load.
Yep. Alright, so, while some of this merchandise is being sold off, making you guys a little bit of cash to use, Azan, what would you like to do with your downtime that you have for this day?
Let's see. I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit, like reinstalling Discord and all that. But my general train of thought. I know we're on day 2, but well, we just had a long, somewhat uncomfortable journey. So it's kind of just flavor, but I'd like to find a local temple and just meditate for a while, do some exercises for half the day, and maybe get to know our recruited crew a little better. I know I already have their information, but to sort of start building that small rapport.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start with a religion check, as you are spending some time at the temple. And then we'll make another check with the crew members. Okay. And then if you would go ahead and make a society or diplomacy check for the interaction with the crew. Okay. Um, being as you're not all that familiar with Mallhaven, it does take you a little while to come across a temple. Um, Especially since the city itself is structured completely different than what you would expect or be familiar with. Especially since it is a dusty city that is mostly tents with some mud buildings and very few buildings built out of brick. Um, one of those brick buildings does happen to be the temple you're looking for, um, but you find with all the buzz and noise happening all around, concentration is a little difficult to come upon. And when it comes time to socializing with the crew members, it's actually pretty hard to uh, narrow them down as they've all taken off on doing their own things. Um, but you do happen to come across Grok, and he seems amicable to having conversation. Um, though it seems he isn't fully into the conversation at the same time.
That's totally fair. These are not exactly, flush circumstances. But still, uh, I'm not a schmoozer like Mancini would be, but I just like to make it known that I am no longer hostile. Like, we're here together. We need to work together. I'm used to working in teams. I don't know what your deal is. The kobold was not the pyromaniac one, right?
No, that was the goblin.
Okay, good. At the very least, I'd just like to express that, I'm impressed that he handled himself well back in that issue we had on the beach with the carbuncles.
Yep, he stayed calm and kept on fishing.
Yep, handled himself well in a manner of speaking.
Okay. With that, let's see what Mancini is doing for the second day.
I think I am forging some documents.
All right. So let's go ahead and roll some of those checks. I believe that is going to be a deception.
There. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Well, that wasn't a good ooh. Do I need to use my hero point here?
Actually, this is one that you guys would be able to see the result of. So I'm glad my voice was misleading.
Oh.
You rolled a 19 with a +9, so there's that.
Not bad.
So, looking very official with them documents there.
Perfect.
But yep,
Holding the party together.
but yep, that definitely does take a little bit of time to pull together. All right. Makes you wonder if he's done it before.
You wonder?
All right. With that, that brings us over to Ko. Ko, I do know that you've got a lot of selling to do as well. So there is that aspect.
That's actually the only thing I planned on doing today.
Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and, for bartering on prices, go ahead and roll a, let's go with a diplomacy check, unless you feel like you're going to use some other skill to try and sell these.
The only other thing that would help would be crafting, and it's the same roll, so...
Alright. Let her rip. Perfect.
Oh, hey, that's not bad.
Yep. For everything that's not the treasure, I'm going to say you're going to get 90% of the value.
Okay. So the cat.
Alright, so yeah. Are you able to click the sell buttons on the treasure items?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay. Then I will just sell those. And that'll just put coin in the pocket. Alright, so there's those out of the way. And then if you would find out the total value of everything else combined, I am going to give the sling a value, so that you can go off of that.
I mean, the total value without the treasure is 80... Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, fuck, I'll just add it up. No.
Well, actually, take that 83.35 and subtract 25.5.
Well, because the wealth says 296.70. If I took the coin off that, it shouldn't. Oh, maybe not. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so take your total wealth and subtract the coinage. Because if I'm not, yep, yeah. If you take the
So
coin away from the total wealth, that'll give you the total of the other items.
You could also just pick up the coin.
785.
All right, there you go. That's what you get. Wait, hold up. No, I don't need that on there. 83 point.
I can't delete all this stuff, so you'll have to do it.
0.5 equals that.
It would be 57.85.
So you
We
get
add
52 gold and 7 copper.
cool.
Alright.
Said
So
52.
52 and 7.
Can you add that to her? Okay, you did it.
Yep. And then all other items. Goodbye. Alright, that wasn't too terribly hard to do. So you guys now have 77 gold and 5 silver and 7 copper. Excellent. Alright, so party stash is taken care of. That is lovely to have done.
So I'll drop each person's gold after I sell stuff with them. That out right now, so I'll let you guys know in a second.
Alright, that'll take us over to William. What do we got going today, William?
Today I'm going to find a blacksmith that can forge my katana and spark blade as one. My sparktana, if you will. And I'm going to try to convince them to give me a good deal on it until Ko gets there by working in their shop, either like hauling coal or roasting firewood to turn into coal or whatever they need done.
Excellent
Uh,
barter.
So everyone take 14 gold, 11 silver, 1 copper.
Because I definitely don't have. Said 14 gold, 11 silver, and 1 copper.
Yep, and then if you could delete the gold from our stash.
So it was 14.
No, just delete all of it.
I know, but I'm putting it in the chat.
Oh.
What everyone got: 14 gold, 11 silver.
11 silver, 1 copper.
Okay. No, didn't mean to send it as William, but I sent it. There. Let's do this. Send it as the Almighty. Alright. And there's 5 of you, so that leaves 2 copper. Is that all that's left in the stash is 2 copper?
Yeah. No. There's nothing left in the stash. Should be 0 in the stash.
Really?
It's 0, everything.
It was 7 copper divided by 5.
Yeah, I took the extra copper.
Alright.
You think I'm not charging for this shit, bro?
Do we have to
And
add in refills?
only 2 copper to do all of our sales and deliver the money. Like
I might have
that's
taken
pretty
some
good.
gold too, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Do we have to add that money to ourselves manually?
Yes.
Yes.
And you'll be able to find that on the top of your inventory section. There is like a on the very top there's your coins, and to the right side there's a plus for add coins. That's going to be the best way to do it.
So yeah, in the most diplomatic way possible, I want to convince a blacksmith to let me work to reforge the spark katana.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and start with a diplomacy check.
Let me know if I should hear about that.
Uh, Talking with him, he definitely seems very hesitant at this moment. And no matter what you try to say, his his position doesn't seem to waver much. But he does agree to let you work around the forge. Not letting you touch any of the metals or anything, just helping clean up and uh, help with billowing the forge. Um, but it doesn't sound like it would be something he would get done too quickly. It might take 2 weeks.
Um, well, I suppose uh, as long as it's done before we leave.
Um, and it seems that the more often you show up and the harder you work, the more likely he'll move it up on his timetable. Um, and also, the more likely he'll give you a greater discount when it comes to finally paying for your product.
Okay, sounds good.
So, um, so he's got you working. Go ahead and roll in athletics. I'll have you roll in athletics every day you work there.
Well, other here.
I was gonna say it's a good thing you have the second one.
Come on.
Yeah, he's beginning to really question why he let you work there in the first place. You don't really seem to really want this katana. Oh, you want the katana, but do you want it?
I don't want it bad enough.
No, apparently not. Then again, it seems most of your rolls have been pretty bad this tonight.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my nat 20s all day.
And that brings us over to Nathan. Oh no, you've gone silent again, Julian.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, there you are.
I kind of don't have anything else to do. I guess so I can't reattempt what I was doing prior, can I?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it's not like the port is small. There's a lot of waterfront to scout about and look for that ship if you so choose. Um, you can always try and make contacts with individuals out and about within the city. There's a lot of things you can choose to do. So.
Yeah. Can I try another society check to maybe locate or talk to people, kind of figure out, you know, where that ship came from, where it went?
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, you guys know where it came from, but
Uh, in we know where its immediate previous location, but like, what is its port of call, sort of thing?
its origin. Very good. Okay. Yep, society would be the most applicable to that one. Oh, most
Oh, you know what?
excellent.
Ignore that. It wasn't blind.
It's no, you're fine. All right, I will give you the choice. Do you want the public one or the blind one?
The blind one. Um, I
Okay.
I just I don't think that's It's like, oh yeah, I took the high one because it was good. No, it's fine.
Alright, so previously you rolled a 27, correct? So with your +8 for your intelligence and trained in society, that gave you a 27. Um, you rolled one better.
Not 20.
Oh shit.
Hero point.
Yep. So you gain a hero point on that. Um, you were actually quite lucky today. As you were making your rounds, you saw an individual actually walk off the ship. You follow them into a tavern, and as they are getting ready to start drinking, you are able to strike up a conversation with this individual. Seems as they are pretty loose-lipped, especially when drinking. They are seemingly willing to let go of some information. So, what? we will have some fun with this. You've heard of the spell Speak with Dead. You get 5 questions. So, what are 5 bits of information you are looking for? And then I'm going
Uh,
to choose 3.
okay. Can you come back to me so I have a second to sort of
Yep, that's fine.
con-
Alright.
con- configurate?
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So, as the rest of you are gathering at the tavern, you notice Nathan has not joined you yet. Seems like he is still preoccupied with whatever it is he is doing at this time. So, as you guys gather around, Mancini, you're able to present these 2 very well um, documentation presented documentations reporting the missing girls and how they've been kidnapped. Everything looks
Ta-da.
official. You, even with the small time you were on the ship, or not on the ship, but at the jailhouse, and the warden was chasing you guys. You just happened to memorize for some reason that emblem on his chest and how it was much more decorated than the other guards, and you inscribed that perfectly as almost like a seal on top of these.
As a person that was involved in tracking down slaves and such, can I use any of my lore checks to like validate its quote unquote authenticity?
Yeah, yeah, I'd allow that for sure. If you've got a lore one, that would be perfect.
I'm Mallhaven.
Okay. Looking it over, um, you're not too sure at this point if another government's missing or kidnapped poster would be enough evidence.
Is this one of
Especially
those times you
since
should
at
hero
this
point?
um you could, but um this is one more so one of um yeah, I mean it here. We can go ahead and go with I wish there was a way where I could reveal it to just the person who rolled it.
We could roll private,
I know, right?
not blind.
And then let's see, make private. There we go. Are you able to
I'm
see it?
so rolling.
Yep. Okay. Oh.
I'm guessing. Oh shit!
Yep, I know, right? Go ahead and add that into your
Cool.
papers. All right.
They're
All
perfect, right?
right. As you're looking it over, it looks as perfect as it can. Um, but at this point, they have been sold. It's up to the owner's discretion at this point. But with an official looking document like this, they're likely to come to some sort of agreement because they're already out money. So
Cool. Hey, these look fucking legit, bro. Just
Co,
for mentioning.
Thanks very much. I thought they turned out very nicely.
Yeah. What's up, man?
if you don't have anything going on tomorrow, would you like to stop by the blacksmith's with me? I'm doing labor so we can reforge that spark blade, but I just don't feel like he was really impressed with me yesterday, so I'm trying to get him to work on it faster so we can get back and fulfill our obligation to those druids.
So you want the guy who is skilled with fire and extremely muscular to help you out?
I think the blacksmith might take a bit more of a liking to you.
Ah,
It almost like you were built for it.
okay. What am I getting out of this?
Um, I will come with you a day and help you do anything that needs done.
All right, open favor. I like it.
dangerous. All right. And then Azan, did you have anything you wish to present to the group?
I don't think I've uncovered anything in particular yet, actually.
All right. So with that, Nathan, how is your conversation going?
Yeah, I got them. I'll post it in Discord. Okay, so after each question mark should be the question. It formatted differently in Notepad.
No worries. Uh, what journal? Okay. Okay. Interesting. So there are two bits of information that they are definitely open to discussing. Um, and one actually requires me to look at a few things. Um, so, as you were talking with this individual, they mentioned that the ship hails from a place that you're not familiar with. The place actually you've never heard of. It is quite interesting in that sense. Let me see here. This route. They actually call the town, or the place that it comes from, Coldside. And with all of your studies, you can't really say that you have ever heard of a place called Coldside.
Interesting.
They didn't seem to have too much of an issue with that line of questioning, as they are happy to answer some more questions about the ship's travels. You find that, um, for the most part, they stick to the north, and they tend to stay away from the Silkmore Kingdom, though they seem to make a trip there maybe once every other year. As for the captain and their political standing, it seems that the captain gets orders from uh, somebody else, someone that's not on the ship, on where they need to go and what they need to do. It seems that uh, their primary thing is cargo, is what they ship. Um, and so, for the most part, it's normal goods. But the second you start asking about captives or capturing individuals, they really start to clam up and start to really keep quiet. So why don't you go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check? Or deception if you're going to try and
Actually,
deceive them in some way.
uh, I'm actually better at diplomacy.
Okay.
Oh no, dang it! Sorry, it's such a habit. I just hit roll.
No worries. It's
Hero,
fine.
hero point.
Yeah. I have no problem with it being publicly visible. Um, Especially since you
Okay,
guys do have your hero points and stuff, so. Um, but as you start to let them know, hey, it's fine. You can talk with me. He kind of lets it known that, yeah, sometimes we bring in individuals from other cities or states, um, mostly from the free cities. A lot of them are wanting to make their lives for loved ones a little better, for the most part.
it is he like telling me is he telling me a story, or does he actually believe that?
Go ahead and roll a perception check. With what he's telling you, it seems like it's the fact that he knows is that they do pick up individuals who are looking to gain some quick money and work to pay off the debt. And that seems to be what they usually pick up for people who need or who end up going into slavery.
Okay. So, like, what happens to these? Like, where are any of them still with the crew? Like, they tried to make quick money. Like, where? What happens to them?
So he kind of walks you through the process of when they land, they take the individuals who are to be slaves or any of their goods that are needed to be auctioned to the auction house. They get the individuals and items logged, and then they are bid on. And once they have been bought, uh, they are no longer theirs to worry about, and they don't have to keep them healthy or alive anymore. They just hand them over.
But what? So you mentioned that they do this so that they can make a quick buck for their families and stuff. How are their families supposed to get this money?
Usually they're
You know what I mean?
paid in front when they surrender themselves to us. Then, when we're brought here to Mallhaven, we tell the auction house minimum sell price, and that's how we get our money back. Usually,
Okay.
requested price or requested upfront payment is 100 gold from an individual. Usually. So, anything that they sell for above 100 is profit for the crew or for the ship.
So if the girls sold themselves into slavery, the crew made 100, 200 gold.
Well, supposedly they receive 200 gold, the girls, but I'm pretty sure the mom would have mentioned that or something. That's a lot of money.
I'm gonna be very sad if Kommena lied to us.
She actually just, uh, I don't know. The whole situation seems kind of sketch.
I mean, to be fair, they were really stop and ask questions, guys.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll find out when we find them, I guess, right?
If nothing else, we helped a struggling innkeeper get reunited with their two daughters and get a nice nest egg for them.
um, with that, as this individual is getting ready to leave, he mentions that the snake is leaving tomorrow.
Where is it going?
This individual apparently does not know, as they are not in charge of navigation.
Okay. I'll thank him for his time, and I'll. Does he have a tab? Like, how does what is the thing where I'm looking at where I'm at right now? Is it
Usually
pay?
it's pay as you receive.
Okay. It's like I'll I'll pay for his next drink then,
Okay.
and thank you for your company. I appreciate you answering my question.
Alright, so that would be 5 copper. That one.
Yeah, go wizard.
But you will be rejoining the group at a late time, but you guys would still be able to confer together as you return. You do find that the others have already begun talking, and you see that Ko has distributed some coins to everybody else already.
Okay. Nobody's asleep when I get back, right?
I don't know. Would anybody have gone to bed early? Alright, no grandpas in the group.
Mancini for sure.
Mancini? Of course Mancini's the grandpa. Okay.
No, he's not Mancini.
Oh,
He's up. He's if we're at a pub, he's just talking to like everybody.
of course. Alright, so everybody's awake, everybody's doing what they want to do. So, you guys are able to confer and decide on plan of action for tomorrow.
I'm gonna be at the blacksmith. Teach him how to stoke them fires.
Could someone remind me, the conversation that Nathan had last night, was that a crew member of the Snake? Or just someone that was, like, in the know?
I think it was it was a crew member, right?
Yes, it was.
So I'll tell everyone, hey, the snake is leaving tomorrow. If wanted to do anything with them. It's the last
Well, I
chance.
mean, they are all slavers. Should we like stow away in the ship, wait for them to get out to sea, kill them all, and then sell the ship?
So I don't know if it's as nearly as cut and dry as that. They may be fooling themselves, but they claim that the people that they're transporting sold themselves into slavery willingly in exchange for a payout for their families.
I guess we really gotta meet up with the girls and find out.
Pose as investigators,
I
or
mean, my
actually,
initial
Mancini could pose as an investigator with the documents, right? And go to
Yeah.
each of these houses, talk to these girls, and say, "Hey, we're trying to find out if these are legitimate or not."
Yep. I would probably need some muscle behind me though.
Got a monk
I'm
over
good at
there.
the talky part, but if there's more of the punchy, then maybe not for me.
I mean, I'm willing to stand behind you and glare while you talk.
That's really all I need. I don't need any violence. I just need a credible threat of violence.
Yeah, and we've already decided we're not murdering anyone in this city, so
I'm doing my best to not murder anybody ever. I'm just not good at it.
Not good at not murder. That's great.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yep, that.
I shot him in the head off, sir. I didn't expect him to die.
Yeah, that's his fault. He
Kind of cut
doesn't
right
have
to
Maybe
enough.
the
he has such
chest.
weak constitution, right?
They
I
said
shot
he
him
was
one
thick-headed.
time.
You execute one person mercilessly in cold blood, and suddenly that's all you are.
the tragic lead allergy.
Tragic lead allergy.
All right. With plans being made, we will
The monk
go.
should have played a bard. I'm just saying.
We will move on over to the next day, day 3. Azan, I believe you and Mancini were going together, so I'm going to have you guys do your stuff together because that's what's going to be more appropriate. As you guys begin to head out, um, you guys know of the estates, but you don't know where they are.
Ko knew that, didn't he?
Uh, oh,
Or he knew which estates they were, I suppose.
yeah, he knew who they were, but not necessarily where.
Wait, I thought we were going to the snake.
No, I thought we were going to the houses to tell them that they had illegally obtained their slaves. Or that their slaves were illegally obtained, rather.
No, you're
Yeah, we just
investigating claim that they were illegally sold.
That's right.
That's
yeah,
fine
we weren't
too.
gonna go murder Hobo with the ship just in case they aren't evil. If they are, we can always wait for them back in port and then take their ship to meet the druids because it's fast.
I mean, or we
It is
can
fast and
just
loose.
take them out on international waters because we have a ship now.
Murder hobos for life.
Hold up, not to throw a wrench in this, but if we're not going to the boat, then like my alternative was to try and do some research on these houses before we walk up on there.
It's also a good idea.
Yeah, like would they actually care, right? If they were illegally obtained.
Well, I did tell you that they were notable houses, so they would care. However, it's likely that they would negotiate the release since they paid money. Meaning it wouldn't be free.
Right. Even with the damage to their reputations.
It's your word against theirs, and I think they'd win.
Ah, fair enough.
I'd advocate for a little groundwork research before we roll up on them. If we're going to the houses,
All right, if
You
that's the
have
case,
the
then
rumors to support you too.
that's true.
You have rumors and evidence. You can always be like, and this evidence can be destroyed. And I'll make sure that no copies will enter for the right discount.
You should also never allow Baines to play a bard. Terrifying.
Well, I suppose I could offer. We could offer to get their money back from the individuals who sold them the two illegally obtained slaves, and then use that as a pretense. Say that we've got a crew, and use that as a pretense to go after the snake.
Back to Murder House. Got it.
Big brain time.
Well, I mean, we just need the money. We don't need anything else.
I'm just teasing.
Just a thought. It's just a thought.
Well, also, if they are actually slavers, because we don't know yet, we should go after and like eliminate that threat if they're just kidnapping girls.
Yep, I'm also good with that. Well, we don't know if the people with the ship did the kidnapping, or if that was just like a crew that's in Ka Maluhia. You know, they might just be
That's
they might be patsies.
that's fair. I don't trust anyone in Ka Maluhia.
I don't trust
Yeah,
anyone dealing with
that's
slaves.
fair.
they seemed very cavalier about the fate of these two people.
All right, so we'll get some more information. I think Ko and I are going to the blacksmith together. Anybody else want to work at the blacksmith shop?
Just work, like normal work.
Yeah, normal, regular work. I actually think there's a thing, earn income, right?
There is a earn an income thing, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I'll as compensation to the person that you're renting the store from, maybe.
Well, they're not renting the store from them. They're helping assist them with the store work. Or
Yeah, I'm trying to have them do a very expensive reforgery of this +1 cold iron thing into a katana so I can wield it as Shizuru decides. It's just really expensive, so I'm working to pay that off and get it done quicker.
Okay.
I'm in Sini's +1 right now. I'm sorry, did we decide what we were doing?
I think we were gonna find out some more information about the houses. Was the last that we had kind of mentioned it. So could I gossip again and just try and find some dirt on them?
okay. Try and dig up some
I
dirt.
want to Yeah, I
Uh,
want to see if I can get some leverage on the houses for this negotiation.
Okay.
I'm
Go
gonna
Don't you
go
want
ahead.
to
to
find out where they are too?
yeah. I'd like to go the library route on this.
Okay. So Azan, as you are trying to look up their locations, let's go ahead and go with a. This is always the interesting part. We can go with. Well, I was gonna say we can go with diplomacy or society. I have a feeling I know which one of those you would choose, though. Or yeah, your library with lore would work too. Library or academia. Yeah, yeah, you got a lot of options that'll actually work out pretty well for this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go library for the novelty of having it as an option, and also as in like libraries.
Okay. Um, as you get to the library, start looking around, finding things. It's kind of it's a lot different than the libraries you're used to, as this one is a series of little mud buildings that are kind of barely attached. Um, but you find yourself looking at a scroll that seems to kind of talk about some of the large families and tribes that dwell within the area. You do come across the two names that you are looking for. You find the Draven and the Viridias, and you find that they're um, not really too close to each other. Um, the Dravens, they seem to be near the edge of town, not too far off from the river. Um, and then the Viridia, actually, I might be getting these two mixed up. Nope, I got it right. The Viridia, they're kind of further inland, um, kind of away from everybody. So,
Away from everybody, like other similar families, or they bought a bunch of land and were like, "Don't come near our house."
yep, they've got a lot of land, and they don't seem to have too much in terms of neighbors.
Can I pick up anything regarding like their social standing or what they typically trade in?
You are able to pick up what they traded. As you are reading through these documents, the Viridias, you find that they are a prominent source of different spices. And so they've got all sorts of spices, seasonings. Um, they have many different exotic flavors. Some even have some magical properties. Um, and others have some less reputable effects, according to some.
Noted.
Now, as for the Draven estate, um, it seems that they actually own quite a few different places, um, but it's not very well detailed where those locations are. But it seems that they own a number of mines where they have many of their workers uh, extracting all sorts of gemstones and other minerals. And so, and it looks like the Dravens actually compete quite well in the jewelry market, and they make a majority of their money that way.
Cool beans. I'm gonna spend some time here, take some notes, so I can hopefully marry it with uh, the information that Mancini pulls up.
Okay. And then Mancini.
All right. So, diplomacy check for finding some gossip about these families.
Absolutely.
Any dirt that I can.
Um, for the most part, everything seems pretty clean. You do find out kind of where they do their trades, or their sales of goods, but you're not able to really pick up anything in terms of like who is done bad things or whatnot. You do kind of pick up a sense of the amount of slaves that they both own, and it definitely feels that the Draven estate has so many more slaves. Um, Probably close to 100. Whereas the Viridia estate, they're probably around a dozen.
All right.
Um, but from what you gather, it almost seems like the Viridias are the wealthier of the two.
You said Viridia had about a dozen or so?
Yep, a dozen slaves, but they seem to be the more wealthy.
Yeah.
Right. Bringing us over to Co, William, and Nathan. As it seems you guys are all going over to the blacksmiths to try and do some work.
And also diplomatically as possibly schmooze him. Uh, this is a great shop we got. It's really an honor to be working here for you. I'm so thankful that such a master blacksmith will be taking care of this project for me.
Go ahead and roll your diplomacy, William. Uh, he seems to compliment that you have gotten some well-needed rest because you seem more eager to earn your sword today. Now to actually put the metal to the truth, as he gives you and Co some instructions on what he needs done around the forge in terms of cleaning and just basic care. And then he looks at Nathan, kind of
Hey,
like,
before
"What?"
we get into this, have you ever worked with a kineticist before, buddy?
He doesn't seem to have worked with someone quite of your talents.
I'm a craftsman myself, so I understand, the craft, right? Um, Here, let me show you some of what I can do. I'm gonna go over to his forges and start using the extend kinesis to level out the temperatures to where they're supposed to be, and then maintain them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a crafting check real quick for that one. Okay. And remind me again, what elements are yours right now?
Fire and earth.
Perfect. That's what I thought it was, because that lowers the DC. As you do so, he seems quite pleased with this. And it seems that he is looking forward to seeing how today's productivity goes.
And then, of course, I'm willing to do the cleaning while maintaining this stuff. It doesn't take anything on my part to do it.
Alright, he likes you. He likes you a lot. Um, with that, if I can go ahead and get you and William to roll athletics checks for me. And for Nathan, he kind of looks at Nathan as like,
So I don't say anything, but I have that determined look, like, put me in, coach. Like, I can do stuff too.
he looks
I
at
mean, you could be
Nathan
working on
and
chemical alloy combinations, shit like that.
he he briefly engages with a conversation with you, Nathan, before quickly realizing that your skills of blacksmithing are not quite as strong as what he is looking for, but he comes to realize that you could be very useful in a few other ways around the shop. And
Balance the books.
and so he actually has you doing some arcane activities to try and help with some of the enchantments on the runes and such. So if I can get an arcana, occultism, um, one of those from you.
Okay.
Okay. Um, with the three of you showing up and doing all this extremely hard work and doing a very good job of it, he's still disappointed with William. But
Wait, with the
What?
19?
He just hates me. It's
I
because I'm
guess
a
I showed
ginger.
you up pretty bad.
yeah, you did. The two companions you brought worked harder than you did.
But I brought them, so that's kind of like my accomplishment too, right?
It almost seems like Nathan wants the sword more than you do.
Well, Shizu's blessing.
Uh, but the blacksmith is actually very pleased with all the work you guys have done. You've actually caught him up quite significantly on some of the tasks he had been behind on, especially with being able to balance out the temperatures to where he was able to work the metals at the right temperatures to get everything done. So, with that, he is able to push up working on the blade to where he will be able to finish it. Uh, Here in 6 days. So, 2 days after your guys' week of downtime.
Sweet.
And as for payment for it, right now he's able to bring it down to 20 gold instead of 25.
You should have
All
that.
right. Yes. Would one more day of work bring it down any lower or speed it up any faster?
Um, it could possibly lower the price, though date-wise he seems like it's pretty much fixed, as that's the soonest he can get it done. Just because cold iron does take some special working to be done correctly.
Cool. 2 days after downtime's done.
Yep. Um, okay. Alright, with that, you guys have done a hard day's work, and you're back at the tavern, uh, massaging some of those sore muscles, and planning out your guys' next day.
Well, it seems as though there's nothing to be learned about the houses. They both are squeaky clean. In fact, they are the most boring rich people I think I've ever heard of.
I shared what I learned
So,
about their location and industries, etc.
We did at least learn where they were, yes, and where to find them, and how to get in touch. But I mean, I was looking for something more along the lines of information to use against them, but it seems as though that won't be a thing.
You have the girls? I mean, technically that'd be information against them.
Well,
You're a
true.
high class family that bought illegal slaves. I don't know how that's going to go over in high society.
And then refuse to do the right thing after being presented with the information and tried to extort innocent yet illegally captured girls for more profit.
Were either of us, more likely Mancini, able to tell like who the people in this family are? Like, do we know their names?
That's a great question.
Um, I would say that Azan, you probably would have picked up the head of the households. With the documentations you were able to read, and so you picked up that there was Jade Draven and Artemis Viridia. So I'll drop those names in the chat for you all. Oh, I should probably do that too, huh?
If you guys want, you can update the notes for
Oh yeah,
Quest Log with Driven input and everything.
yep, that would be perfect place to put those. I'm just gonna drop down in here for you guys on Discord.
Is anybody
Also,
getting that?
do we know their ancestry, perhaps?
I heard, but I'm not updated.
I'll get it.
Um, for the Dravens, no. It seems like this is the only individual from the Draven family. Um, it does not make mention of wife, children, parents, anything. Um, the Artemis, it seems that there was mention of having an ancient family tied to the land, uh, and that's how they own so much. But um, it doesn't seem to uh, state any ancestors, um, but it does mention a number of individuals as wives. Though the dates for the wives seems a bit concerning, as some of them are as old as like 200 years ago.
Okay, noted. Noted.
Maybe it's a matriarch.
But it's always only been this one individual as the head of the household. So,
Oh, so they're long lived.
So are these like concurrent wives, or has he just had a lot of wives? Yeah, I guess had a lot of wives.
it'd be interesting to find out.
And that's Jade, right?
Uh, no, that was the Viridia estates that had the multiple wives.
Kills him off when he gets bored.
Or just has a whole bunch of wives.
It's true.
Okay. On the next day, do we want to proceed with maybe Mancini accuses? We go forward with like maybe, hey, there's some scandal. You could avoid this scandal.
Should we scout first? Just scout the lay of the land. Try to assess if it could be more of a threat. Because if we're going into hostile territory, all of us should be there.
Would they, like, if we went to a place of business, would they have people around? Like, would it be a public enough place to not worry about getting captured or killed?
The places that you picked up Mancini, you do know that they are public places. They're out in the open. Uh, the They aren't actually too far away from each other. They are both in the tent markets, and both are usually open during the day.
Okay, so I would be able to at least go and have an initial chat without worrying too much about getting shot.
Sure.
Question mark?
It depends on how you approach, but yeah.
Okay, I don't think I'd need the backup then. I mean, it's always welcome. I'm still not a very Mancini's not a very still not an intimidating person.
Yep, still
I'm
gotta
not
work on that.
intimidating. I
Yeah,
look
I
at
like
picnic
this.
work, so probably don't want me.
Yeah, I plan on scouting the location of the houses, like scouting the property out, looking for egress, number of guards, stuff like that.
Okay.
That sounds like a smart thing to do.
Anybody want my help with something?
You want to scout the other location?
I'm not really all that sneaky.
It's just perception.
Yeah, we're not so
I'm
much
betting I
sneaking
have the
in.
lowest perception.
I think we're just putting our eyeballs on it.
I think I'll rest up. I'll rest up for the day. Hey Nathan,
Yes.
are you skilled in crafting at all?
Um, I have a passing fancy with it. Why? Why do you ask?
I've got this idea uh, for something I want to make. I'm gonna guess
Is
you
it?
don't know how to do magical crafting.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, may have to shop around then. It's all right. It's all right. Just wondering.
Well, yeah, Mancini, which one did you want to go to? And then we can, I guess, split up and scout.
I'd like to go to, I think, Draven first. The less, because of the less wealthy, I could assume they're the less powerful, right? They don't have the like long family tie to the land, it seems.
That follows.
Okay, then I think, yeah, let's start with Draven. Draven.
Then I will also go to Draven's estate, but like for scouting purposes. Just like walk around, see what's up, see how many people I see.
What? So I wouldn't go to their estate. I'm gonna go to their like business offices.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I
We'll
can still
try
go
and
to the
yeah,
estate.
I want to try and talk to the heads of the families while they're at their place of work as opposed to at their home. Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
No, it does. Do you want back up there, or should we still do the double scout? I don't mind either way.
I don't think I would need backup. It's just going to be a friendly conversation. I should be able to handle that on my own.
Then Aslan will go to their estate, not to, skulk, but just to observe.
Okay.
Is Sean still there?
Yep, I'm still here. All
Okay.
right. So that's what you guys are doing. All right. Start of the fourth
Sounds like it.
day. Zahn, as you are heading out to the Draven estate, go ahead and roll me your perception, stealth, or society check as you scout this out. are you going with Azan? If you're talking Baines, you're on mute.
I figured we'd go to different ones so we could just scout them both.
Ah, gotcha. So Azan's going to the Draven, so I guess you're going to the Viridia. Okay, cool.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
All right, Azan, as you get out to the Draven estate, you find that it is pretty close to the river out here. Now I have to remember the river name. It is the where did it go? The Jade River, um, and you find that there's a little like dock right there. Um, Not much bigger than what is needed for like a little rowboat to go do some fishing or something. Um, but for the most part, you find that there's just a small collection of these mud buildings. You find that there's about 6 buildings, and it looks like they have a small little oasis in the middle of them. Looking about, that seems to be it. You do notice that there is a little bit of activity during the day, but that's about it. Not much else. Um,
I believe the architecture in the city noted that defense was sometimes an issue because they don't have the resources for like huge walls or battlements or whatever. Uh, do we have a heavy patrol, or is this the kind of place where they feel secure in themselves? It's just a home.
um, they are right near the edge of the city. It does not look like they have much in terms of defenses.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a note and just stay here for a while and make try to observe the patterns
Okay. Yeah,
if there are any.
as you're watching, you do notice a few individuals come and go throughout the day. Um, but that that's about it. You don't see any like merchandise like things coming or going.
Cool beans.
Okay. Jumping over to Mancini as you are talking with uh, the Draven shop. Um,
He's gonna walk in and walk right up to the counter, and I assume, what does it look like in there when I
yeah,
walk in?
so as you get into the tent uh, market, it's very much like a flea market, and where people have their different tents with all their different stalls set up within. Uh, and the tents don't provide too much in terms of privacy, as they don't have the side walls so much. Just a back wall for the most part to keep people from coming from behind. And so as you approach, most people are just looking at their wares. Now I have to remember which ones the Dravens were. This one. Here we go. And you see that they have a number of pieces of jewelry um, for all sorts of necklaces, rings, piercings. If it could be, if a gem could be put in it, it's there on the table. Uh,
Um,
oh, would you like this beautiful ring for a lovely lady?
that is quite the beautiful ring, but I'm afraid I'm not here for a lovely lady. I am. Oh, quick
For a
question: Do I know if
gentleman,
Jade
then.
Draven? Do I know if Jade Draven is a man or a woman?
Um, you would not.
Okay, I just know the name.
Yes.
Okay. Not gentleman either. I'm looking actually for a particular individual. I was wondering if I could speak to Jade Draven.
Hmm. Well, jade does not so much come out too often. They are not well liked within the community themselves, though their products are very well done. Jade usually only reserves their appearances for major events or auctions.
Did they happen to be at the auction just a couple of nights previous?
I do not know. My responsibilities lie here.
Fair enough. Well, would you be so kind as to send a message to them?
Possibly.
There seems to have been some discrepancy with a slave that was allegedly bought by Master Draven, and it's prudent that we have a conversation about it.
Oh, so you are from the auction house. Do you have your badge or any sort of documentation proving such?
I'm not from the auction house as such, but I am involved in an investigation regarding the auction house.
Hmm. I will pass a message along, and I will see what Master Draven so chooses to do with that information.
See you again tomorrow, and hopefully have a be able to have a conversation
Maybe.
with your master. What do I need
Cough,
to do to get an
cough,
audience?
rumors.
To get an audience with them, well, uh, that's up to their discretion of whether they would allow such an audience. Though, when it comes to his slaves, knowing Master Draven, he will more than likely be intrigued enough to have a conversation.
Well, he should also know that this has the potential to reflect quite poorly on his house.
Mm, very good. Good to know.
So thank you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And so, as you are beginning to leave the tent, um, you notice that something I forgot to mention with the tent market is all over the place. It's almost like Las Vegas, where you've got flashing lights all over the place, uh, illuminations, illusions popping up, trying to pull you into the tents. And the same is also happening here at the Draven tent. Um,
So I'm picturing like in Back to the Future 2 with the hologram jaws.
yeah, that is exactly what's going on.
Disorienting.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Some tents are just over the top flamboyant and boisterous with their uh, illusions, but um, it seems to draw in the customers, so they keep at it.
Do I have enough time? Can I stop in at the
Most definitely.
perfect? Then I'd like to also stop into the Viridia offices.
All right. As you approach the Viridia tent, which is a good distance away, but still within kind of that same market. It's a big market though, so it takes a little bit to walk there. Again, an open tent, uh, plenty of shade. As you step in, your nose is just assaulted with all these different smells of different spices and fragrances.
Just to quickly check, I didn't write it down earlier. They're in like their business is spices and fragrances and stuff, right?
Yes. As this serpentine looking individual welcomes you. So, what shall it be today?
Well, if possible, my good sir, I would like to speak with Artemis Viridia, please.
Hmm. Viridia doesn't take in requests to be spoken with. They're always so busy.
Well, I seek an audience because I have been investigating the auction house and I have come across some credible evidence that there may have been some illegally obtained slaves that have made their way to your house.
Hmm. Well
Given
then.
that given that this could represent quite a damaging blow to a well-to-do noble house's or wealthy house's reputation, I thought it was in the best interests of Viridia to let you know, to let them know.
In that case, I shall be sure to pass the message along. I'm sure Master Viridia would very much appreciate such a awareness.
Lovely, thank you. And do you know, should I stop back in again tomorrow? Should you get in touch?
Yes, I'll be sure to talk to them today.
Well, thank you very much. Uh,
Alright.
I think that's it for me.
Alright, you let them know. And that'll bring us over to Ko.
Coach chilling. He's getting a massage, maybe going to a spa day.
Alright. Getting some of that rest and relaxation. Um, Go ahead and roll me a d20 if you would, please. Okay.
I guess it's a good role to roll a voice it on.
Is it? No. Yeah, you do find it to be a good, quiet, relaxing day. You find a small oasis, though of course it is quite crowded as you are in a desert area. As there are many kids playing in it, having fun, um, but you are able to kick back and relax. Um, that'll bring us over to William. William, if I'm not mistaken, you were going out to the Viridia estate and scouting out. It looks like you already rolled a perception check to do so as well.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, as you get outside of the city, it takes you a little bit of time to travel out there. And as you get out there, you notice that you are finding more and more crops, almost as if you're starting to wander into farmland. But it is so arid and dry. But you notice all these little pipes that run along the ground. And after a little while, you start to hear a hiss, and then water starts to spray up out of the ground from these pipes. And as you walk, you hear some sputtering, and then the water stops. It's an unusual thing you haven't encountered before. And it doesn't occur too often, but you see someone further ahead who seems to be doing some work on the ground where these pipes run. You can approach them if you choose to, or you can try to avoid them. the plants would probably provide enough cover to be able to hide from them.
I am actually going to try and gain a contact with him.
Okay. So as you approach, you notice that the individual is unusual looking, as their skin for the most part is red, and they've got these antlers coming out of their head as they begin to stand up, pushing up on a uh, walking, uh, not walking cane, not a cane, but more of a walking stick that is quite long. As they see you approaching, they kind of take a step back and point the stick out at you. What do you want?
Oh, hello there. I didn't mean to startle you.
What you did?
There's my most sincere apologies. I'm William Maryblood. I have a matter that's of a rather discreet nature that I would like to address with uh, the master of the house, Artemis Viridia. Um, I was coming out here personally to address him and try and set up an audience, seeing as how this is a discreet matter.
Well, I don't know if you'll talk with you or if you can find him, but I'm sure not going to stop you.
Wonderful. Would you be willing to provide me assistance to the locating the main house? Just a direction would be fine.
Follow this pipe. He points you in a direction. Points out the pipe on the ground. That's a little thicker than the rest.
Cool. I thank you for your time. I will heed your advice. I hope you have a great day, and then walk off following the pipe.
As you begin following the pipe and it gets close to them, they back away, making sure they have quite a distance in between the two of you, keeping a close eye on you as you walk past. Eventually, you find yourself coming up upon a few houses, one just being ever so slightly larger than the rest. But you find a few more workers working in the field, and it looks like they are harvesting some of the vegetation that is growing close by.
Alrighty. Um, I am going to continue to the largest house.
Okay. As you make your way there, a few of them turn and look as they see you going there, but then resume their duties, not bothering to interact with you. As you approach the house, you notice, like the others, it is a mud house, and pretty simple in its structure, but it does have its basic doors. So I assume you engage on the door and try to draw the attention of whoever's inside to come out to assist you.
Yeah, I will. I'll do two quick taps and then one really firm one.
As you do so, a individual opens the door, and they look quite a bit different than any other individual you've seen before, as their body is just covered in gold, and it's hard to tell if they're actually wearing clothing or if their body was sculpted to have these different pieces upon them, because everything just seems so seamless. And
That's not a description I expected.
and with a voice that doesn't seem to come from within them, or that just it just seems to emanate from around them. And what is it I need to assist you with today?
Uh, Sorry, your absolutely striking countenance threw me off for a moment. I'm William Maryblood, and I have a matter that concerns the master of the house, Artemis Viridia. It's needs to be handled with the utmost discretion. That's why I'm coming personally to try and arrange audience.
Then you have my attention.
I I see. It are you Artemis then?
Was that not clear enough with my answer?
It was certainly clear. I'm still just so stunned by your countenance. If I may be so bold, um, I haven't seen anyone that looks like you around before. Do you come from these parts?
I have been here a long time. Now, what is it that you wished to discuss with me?
Well, you see, there's an investigator, a Grand Inquisitor, concerning the disappearance of two girls. There's some documentation that leads us to believe one of them was a slave you purchased recently. And as you know, that would not reflect well. I am trying to get a discreet meeting established between you and the Inquisitor. Would tomorrow around this time be amenable to you?
That would
Fuck,
be
are you using words like
possible,
amenable?
but
He is a bard.
considering I have purchased many slaves over the years, it would be difficult for me to remember exactly which one you are referring to.
Um, it would be a young female purchased just within 4 to 7 days ago.
You have a full description of both of the questions, by the way.
Oh, in that case, I will give the wait. Did we know which girl went where again?
Nope. Give a description to both.
Okay, I will provide both descriptions.
Okay. As you describe the descriptions, this face does not move, shift, change in any way. Um, it seriously looks like it's just all their being is just one piece of metal. I believe I know who you speak of. I will have them here with me tomorrow. You and your inquisitor, investigator, individual, they may be here. Oh, let's go for second breakfast tomorrow.
Indubitably. So it shall be. Second breakfast.
Very
Thank you
good.
for your prompt response, Master Beridia. I appreciate the time and your benevolence today.
Of course.
I leave.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to Nathan.
Like, I don't have anything cool like that to do.
Right?
Uh, is the blacksmith still working on William's katana? Still just working?
Yes.
I mean, oh, you know what? Snake's leaving today. Can I go do some scouting, see if I can find out where they're leaving to, what their
Mm,
destination is?
most welcome to try.
That's smart.
I was just gonna work in the store, but like I totally forgot about that.
Okay. As you head off to the docks and try to find out where they are going, if you can go ahead and roll perception, society, or um, I don't think that one. Yeah, either one of those two. I don't think stealth would be as applicable. Mm, okay. Um, as you begin to find out what's going on at the docks, you hear a name mentioned. Again, it's another location I'm not too sure you're familiar with. Um, oh, go ahead and roll me an academia lore, if you would, please.
Oh, dang
That's
it!
fine. You're
Sorry.
fine. No worries. Um, okay. In all of your studies, it's actually quite interesting that you've heard of this place. You actually have been able to catch a little bit about this, as the city of Kushras is not very well known, but it's actually situated pretty well along the coastline. Um, it's not part of any nation. It's another free city, but they are um, they're normally they're uh, for the most part dock workers. They work on ships, upgrading them. Apparently, they have some of the finest wood for ship making uh, out here. Um, they they would compete. Their ships compete greatly against the Silkmore Kingdom's ships from Milgard. And so, um, if a ship owner was to want upgrades or something like that on their ship, Kushras would be the place to go. And so I will make that location now visible on the world map for you guys. So you guys now have that.
Cool. Can I roll something similar for cold side?
Sure. That one does have a higher DC though.
Yeah, go with.
Of course you would, you know, just beat the DC. Alright, so cold side. Um, as you slept on it overnight, you came to the realization you've heard about this city, um, but it's for the most part just been like little snippets, a little bit of talk here, a little bit of talk there. Um, what you have heard uh, and read almost sounds like they're in league with the Eagle Shade Empire. Um, Almost like a sort of bridge connection city between the west and the east. Even though there's land that separates uh, the east and west, and Coldside sits on that land. Uh, but they are further to the east. They are at the very end of the Misty Sea, and so they are now visible on the world map as well.
How do we open the world map?
Um,
Is that a thing we have to navigate to?
you can click on the. Oh yeah, I didn't fix the navigation thing. But you can
Oh, there
click.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Oh, but then we can't go back. I got you.
Yeah. So just let me know if you want back to the landing page, and I can get you back there.
No, it's fine. I mean, we're not doing a map thing right now, so.
Yep.
Okay.
But yep. So there is. Oh, there we go. There's Kushalas, and there is Coldside.
Yeah. Okay.
You could throw me back to the landing page if you wanted.
Okay. Oh yeah. So with that, you guys have. Oh yeah, and then you were trying to scout out what the ship was doing. That's right. Yep. So you found out they were going to um, Kushash. And yep. All right. Sweet. So with that, you guys are able to gather back up for the evening, back at the tavern, and able to disperse the information you gathered.
Mancini, I have great news for you. Um, I was able to make contact with Artemis Viridia and set up a meeting for you tomorrow. I've already given you the title of Grand Inquisitor, and he knows it's pertaining the slave he bought, and he thinks he knows what we're talking about. So, whoa.
How the fuck did you pull that off?
I'm very charming.
Huh.
I'm sorry, did you say that his face didn't move when he talked?
No, he was like a perfectly molded statue of gold, as if he was melted directly into a cast of a tall, sturdy humanoid with really impeccable clothing.
You think it might have been an automaton?
I have no idea.
I don't suppose we've ever heard of any phenomenon like that before.
You know that in the world, coming across automata or automatons or um, any sort of person that is of metal is very rare. It's not impossibly rare. Um, I mean, they're seen pretty commonly, but it's not like everywhere you look. Um, Usually, those kind of individuals are servants of some sort. Um, all that anybody ever knows about um, automatons or um, gosh, I can't remember the other one right now off the top of my head.
Konrasu?
No, the androids. That's what it was.
Oh,
Is that usually they just appear at a doorstep, knock on the door, and the first things they ever say or remember saying is "I am here to serve you." They don't remember where they came from. They just show up at the door, and it seems that whoever opens the door is then decided to become their master.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, and to confirm, that didn't just happen when he opened the door to me and said, "What is he supposed to help me with?"
Correct. He did not indicate that you were his master.
Aw. Okay.
So I was on mute when we started talking about that, and I was trying to do some role play, and it obviously didn't go anywhere. So sorry about that.
Like, why are these people such assholes? They're ignoring me.
It was. Yeah. No, I just realized that, like, I was. It's like having a conversation with somebody that's on a cell phone that you can't see. You know, where I was
Hey,
talking, but I wasn't part of the conversation.
hey, Mancini, I've got great news. I set you up as if you're the Grand Inquisitor, with good old Artemis Viridia tomorrow.
Oh,
It's dealing
excellent.
with the slave stuff.
That's perfect. I may have chosen a little less conspicuous of a title, but I've always wanted to be a Grand Inquisitor. I've wanted to be a Grand anything.
Certainly. I figured with the masterwork you performed of making those seals, a fancy title would carry more weight with such a well-to-do individual.
Well, thank you very much. That's perfect, as I had very, very little success speaking to their agents in the market today.
Well, maybe after we talk with Mr. Viridia, we could go in person to um, Jade Draven's estate.
That sounds like it would probably be far more productive.
I'll have you know I make great introductions.
Well, excellent.
Where was this talking stuff earlier when we were shooting people or stabbing them in your case?
You know, new city, new party.
Ah,
New
that's
city, new
fair.
list.
I didn't realize that some people had an aversion to, um, you know, using the sword rather than the pen.
I don't even use a sword at all.
Some of us can't just make fire blasts.
You should upgrade.
Yes, well, if you know anywhere that I can buy fire blast powers, I would love to hear about it.
I can teach you.
We had some knuckles where if you punch people, there's a big explosion.
Don't we still have those knuckles?
I thought we sold those.
Yeah, I think we sold them.
I don't know anything about fire powers, but I can teach you how to be flaming.
But
All right. With a planned meet for the morning, um, what is the plan for tomorrow?
I guess we're gonna be an tutorial squad.
Should we get matching uniforms?
That would be cool.
That'd be sweet.
By second
On board
breakfast, good
too.
luck.
I mean, I'm pretty well rested. We got enough cloth that we can make some.
Possibly.
Could even
What
go
if
a
we
little simple with it, like little tabards or whatever, right? Just wear
Yeah.
over normal clothes.
Okay.
you could always laser engrave like a crest or something on wood with your fire, and that could hold the cloak or the tabard.
Oh, badges might be a good idea too.
All right. All right. Let's keep it simple, guys. I think between me and Nathan, we'll probably jimmy up some robes, or some uniforms rather.
Okay, so how complicated are these going to be?
They just gotta look, man, an official.
Then if I can go ahead and get crafting checks from the individuals who will be working on this, and they can be public.
Nathan, you doing it too?
Yeah. Ooh. Drop the dice. You know what? I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay.
Yeah, yours is better than mine. Damn.
Well, alright, with that, you guys are able to get some well done and timely uniforms put together. So are all 5 of you going to this meeting?
Yeah, fuck yeah, why not?
Perfect.
Oh, for sure.
Alright. Well, in that case...
Like, I think all 5 of us should be there, just in case we end up having to fight God.
Alright. Let's see. And let's go ahead and pull you guys all over to the Viridia estate. And with that, I'm actually going to end this encounter because there is no more need for it right now since you're all here. So,
Or is there a greater need for it?
No, we're probably going to have to re-roll another encounter.
alright, so this is day 5 we are going into, end that encounter. This is the door that you previously knocked on, William. As you see, there are a few individuals out and about working on the fields already.
Yeah, in that case,
Oh, I should unpause it so you guys can move about.
I'll move up and knock on the door, preparing to make introductions.
Okay. As once again the doors opened and you see the individual again, and with a voice that just seems to radiate outwards around everybody. Welcome back. I see you have brought the Grand Inquisitor and companions.
Yes, hello.
So,
I am indeed the Grand Inquisitor. I am looking to speak to Artemis Viridia, please.
And you are doing that so.
Lovely. Master Viridia, I was in the markets yesterday. I was speaking to your associates at your place of business about my suspicions that I'm investigating that a slave that you purchased may not have been acquired on the up and up.
Understood. Please, all of you, come on in. As they gesture for you to follow them inside.
does the door have a lock on it?
Um, Looking at it, yes, there is a simple lock on it.
Uh, did we get in the door quickly enough for the guy's back to be turned to us, or is he looking at us?
Go
Because
ahead.
I'd like to attempt to lock the door and stand in front of it
Go
without
ahead.
him seeing that I locked it.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Out of character. Why are you it's extra complicated thing?
Uh, because I want to ensure privacy, and it looked like someone out there uh, was pretty crazy. We have like some red face horn devil thing and some other crazy mage lady with staff.
Oh, so William's racist. Got it.
Um, the red-faced individual you're talking about actually looks familiar because you spoke with them the day before.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you did?
that doesn't look like someone I'd want to have just come up behind me, you know. So that's why.
Not somebody you want to put your back to.
So, I believe you were speaking about an individual who seems to have been illegally brought into slavery.
Yes, a young girl from Ka Maluhia. She was abducted from her mother and brought over to Mallhaven and was auctioned off 4 to 7 business days ago.
Hmm, that would be Alara. She is quite
Lovely.
talented, you know.
Oh, I'm sure she is, and her talents were well spent at her mother's place of business.
So, what is it that we are looking at with this situation?
Well, I would very much like it if we could return her to her mother.
Hmm. Unfortunately, I did pay a handsome sum for her and her talents.
Well, you see, this is still a matter that can be handled with discretion because the only wanted posters that are going to be coming in so far are the ones that the Grand Inquisitor has brought with him. For the right discount, this can all be handled without besmirching your name. Isn't that right, Grand Inquisitor?
That is correct. I see no reason why this needs to be done with any more muss and fuss than is necessary. And I'm sure that it would be a stain on the reputation of such a great house to have it become publicly known that they had been illegally obtaining slaves.
Grounding, did you not just say this morning that you wished to question the young person in question to ascertain if she had done uh, of this of her own free will?
Ah, yes, thank you. Is it possible that we could interview the young woman?
Oh, very good, yes. May I see these posters?
Yes, you may. And I'm gonna hand over the forged documents.
They're not forged. They're official documents, sir.
Gonna hand over the air quotes official documents.
Um, as you hand over the document and the individual reads it over, it takes a little while for them to go through it all. Well, everything here looks to be in order. And as for my compensation,
Inquisitor, didn't I hear that the auction house will be responsible for restitution, maybe?
Yes, that's correct. The auction house is responsible for returning the sum that you had paid. You didn't know that they were not properly. You didn't know that they were not able to be sold with impunity.
so you've got the compensation from the auction house to provide me then?
No, but if you get in touch with them, they will remit you an invoice.
But Grand Inquisitor, isn't that your responsibility?
My responsibility is mostly to find out the truth. if they balk at any such requests that you may have, just feel free to use my name. I'm sure that they will be more than happy to refund you.
Well, let me go and fetch Lara, and I will be back with her, so that you may interview her.
Lovely, thank you.
As he proceeds to step backwards, you hear another door open as they step out and it's shut. Kind of leaving you guys in this space alone for a time.
Okay, I'll admit that's a really cool appearance, right? Like that's a stunning visage.
Oh, it's cool as hell.
Yeah, really. Like,
Very living statue.
After about a minute, you hear the door open again as they step in, and behind them is a dwarven gal. Um, she's not too old looking. She looks like probably in her young adult stage. I don't have a token for her right now, sorry. But as she looks about the room, hello. How may I assist you? And you can see that she's wearing an apron over top, and it's got all sorts of colors and stains on it. She's wearing. You can see that she's wearing some long uh, gloves, and she starts to take them off and tuck them into a pocket of the apron.
I'd like to whisper to Mancini that she should identify herself in case she's a fake or something.
and her mother's name.
Miss, could I trouble you for your name?
I'm Alara. Um, my
And where are you from, Alara?
I'm from Ka Maluhia.
How did you come to be in the service of such an individual?
She takes a deep breath, and it looks like she's trying her best to hold back some tears. I was. Well, I don't remember how exactly I got there. Um, I remember being on a crate, or in a crate, um, and it was moving side to side. It made me quite nauseous. Um, we then stopped, and then it got somewhat bright through the slots in the crate, and finally the crates were opened, and when I stepped outside, I was in this city, or in the city. She gestures out towards Mallhaven. And as we made our way, as we made our way to here, we, there was a number of us walked onto this stage, and Adrena was there. She was chained up a few individuals behind me. Um, Numbers and people were shouting. And then Master Viridia, his voice just rang clear, almost just like right beside me, that everything was going to be okay, and that I was going to be well taken care of, and that I didn't have to worry about myself. I would be okay. Um, and then I was unchained, uh, and Master Viridia here um, had me put on this bracelet and had me walk back with him to his estate, where he's been having me do some training.
Now, did you did you wind up in the box of your own free will? Did you intend to become enslaved?
I I didn't know about going in any box. Um, I did tell Master Viridia that I don't know how this all happened, um, let alone how Adrena and I ended up in this situation.
Well, I guess my last question then. Do you know who from home might be wishing for your safe return?
My mother would. She'd be worried sick. I am worried about her, but I have no clue how to get home or where home is from here. Um, so I figured the best thing I could do was to work with Master Viridia, who explained that um, in order for me to um, earn my freedom, I just need to work for a few years. And if I then so choose, I could leave. And hopefully, if I work hard enough, I might even be able to help free my sister Adrena.
So, Alara, is it?
Yes.
You are stating that you did not enter into a contract of slavery of your own free will.
No, but I also understand that in that if that because I was wrongly entered into slavery and Master Verdia here did nothing wrong, he would also be wronged by those individuals. And so, since I had no proof that I can dispute it with, and Master Viridia could not bring forward, it would just be my word against the individuals who brought me here. And since they are constantly bringing in slaves, then my word is of little use.
Well, I have here the official reports of your being missing and not simply voluntarily indentured. Surely that means something to the authorities of Mallhaven.
Well, and Master Viridia, we we're trying to give you the option to handle this as discreetly as possible. But if you wish, we can make it public at the auction house and come back with that recompense for you.
That would probably be for the best, as then the auction house would be reprimanded accordingly to the laws, as our Grand Inquisitor here should be able to in- inform them about, as it is their responsibility to make sure their slaves that are auctioned are properly sourced. Now, I have no dispute with Alora for her situation. In fact, she is doing quite well in her learnings.
Well,
So what
certainly.
we should ask
If
Alara, is it your desire to continue in your current situation?
It's I miss being home, but it is also very intriguing to be here and to learn new things. It's not an opportunity I would have gotten otherwise. And so I'm torn.
I have a question.
What would you say to the prospect of getting your sister as well, and sending you back to your mother together?
I wouldn't want to leave without her. Um,
I would just like to ask Lord Viridian, if you don't purchase many workers, might I ask what drew you to Alara and her skills in particular?
I just want
she,
to ask: is Mike really quiet for everybody, or just
No, it was really quiet for me too.
yeah, I had to adjust Mike's
maxed
volume.
them out?
Yeah. Um, she showed a admirable amount of skill when it came to alchemical situations. I believe that she said she worked in her mother's tavern and was able to come up with a number of cocktails. And with the skills she's shown, I greatly believe that.
Well, Alara, we will do our best to secure your freedom from the auction house. If, should that be what you so choose. And we will also attempt to get you back in contact with your sister so you two may coordinate if that is also something that you wish.
Um, Thank you, I believe. Um, but even if I were to become free here, I don't know how I would return home, or where home
Who
is for me.
provides you transport home?
Master Viridia, I've got a question for you. If you were to receive recompense from the auction house, as we're going to facilitate for you, uh, that would mean that Alara is no longer a slave. Would she then become a paid employee under some form of compensated apprenticeship, as she's not working towards her freedom anymore?
There are individuals here that do work for me for financial compensation.
Wonderful. If that would be a willing arrangement, then I'm certain she'd be able to purchase safe passage on a ship out of here. And I'm certain a man as connected as yourself could ensure that it would be something reputable to ensure that she actually gets home and not resold.
That is true.
So we've got options. And one other question, if Adrena ends up needing a job and potentially wants to stay and or work with Alara, would you be able to open up a job for her?
Unfortunately, her skill set does not quite mesh with what my work entails. Her hands were too soft for the fields, and her magical skill set does not quite blend in with our needs here.
I understand wholeheartedly. Uh,
Drugs.
I was just trying to provide Alara as many options for her future as she wished, going through all these traumatic events, being abducted and sold. She deserves some recompense for all that.
Are we able to like tell if Lara was telling the truth at all, or any like? Is there a skill that does that?
Perception. You also, if anyone else has a spell like Sense Motive or something like that. Um,
Oh, you know what? There is a thing. Button. I just pressed.
oh,
The little macro tables useful.
as she is telling her story, she seems like she still doesn't fully understand how she ended up in this situation. Uh, Her emotions are torn. She's saddened about the situation, um, but she seems to be making the best of it at this time.
She doesn't seem like she's full of shit and lying out of her ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
If like detect magic wouldn't do anything at this point if she was magically like her memories were altered in whatever way, right? It's been too long.
Well, if it's an ongoing curse or something like that, you might be able to pick up on this, the fact that there's magic. But at this level, I think your detect magic only lets you know of the presence of magic.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's still an option if you wanted to.
Sure. It's a cantrip. Might as well.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, you do detect magic within the area.
But not from her specifically.
Um, at this level, I don't think it believe it. I don't believe it tells you the exact location. I believe.
Oh, presence or absence.
Yeah, yeah. At
Oh,
third.
you can choose to ignore magic you are fully aware of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like the stuff with your companions, you can ignore entirely. Um,
So aside from that, there is magic in this room. I mean, that I guess that's not crazy.
yeah. Yep, there is definitely magic in this room. You get a strong sense of magic being present.
Okay.
I mean, probably Viridia has a fair amount of magic just to make him a talking gold statue.
Master Veridia, I had a question, just curiosity.
Very well.
Are you by chance an automaton?
I am not.
Ah, thank you for satisfying my curiosity.
Dang. So what's our next move here? Out of character, obviously.
We have to go talk to the house arrangements and talk to the auction.
Yeah, I think we
So-
should. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we should go to the auction house, use these incredibly done forgeries, get the money for them, hit the other house, see what we're going to be doing with Adrena, and then come back for
We're
Alara.
gonna talk about this after we leave, right?
Yeah, we're not just conversating and Artemis is like
Okay,
looking around.
we're gonna take off then, Mr. GM, so that you're aware
Okay.
officially.
All right, that works for me.
I just want to point out a couple of holes with that particular plan, Sir William. I don't know if you remember when we first got here, we stopped by that auction house. Remember?
Yes, but
Kind of
disguises
left an
exist.
impression.
Yeah, but the disguises exist.
Okay. All right. Talking some magic here. That might do it.
Sure, magic or a disguise kit. I'm certain a city of this caliber has something for all of the plays and actors and
Also, we don't really need the auction house's cooperation. We just need their gold pieces.
Are you suggesting run a heist?
I don't like that word, but I will say that, ill-gotten gains, it's not theft if you're just putting it back where it belongs.
Okay.
it's only bad if we get caught.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting moral conundrum that you present.
But we could always try disguise.
Is anybody good at disguises?
I'm gonna look at Genie.
Is that a deception?
I believe it is.
Yep.
In which case, then yes, I would be great with that. Yep, I would be great for that.
Okay. So you get back to the tavern, it's about midday, and are going to be able to prepare to strike out once more here on the 5th day to try and gain some more insight, some more information, as you are going to try and learn some more. But for tonight, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up, as we're just a little past time. So next session, it sounds like we are visiting the auction house.
Did we go check out the other sister first? Because if they want money too, we'd have to rob the auction house, go to the other sister, rob the auction house again to pay for the other sister.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. We robbed the auction house once with both of them because we have both paperworks or whatever, and then go grab the other sister because we know Alara is at least like safe and taken care of.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Okay, let's do our thievery.
Well, actually, we're not even thieving. We're just not letting them know that it's us, and then going and doing everything officially and above board, 100% legit. Aside from the forged documents.
That's what thieves do. Like, we're totally stealing. Like,
No. It's just requisitioning through alternative methods. Stealing is like breaking in and like picking locks and stuff.
Oh no, we're doing the right thing here. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah.
no, I agree we're doing the right thing, but I feel like,
You can call it whatever you want.
yeah, like dressing it up differently is the stealing is one thing, but that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
William chuckle a little bit and be like, "Well, it rubs Shizuru the wrong way too. That's why we're definitely not stealing. We're just saving 2 weeks of sailing back to Ka Maluhia to get posters. We just made posters."
Yeah, it's cool. Whatever.
So we're heisting.
We're heisting. Well, at least he knows what to plan for now.
Yep. Sounds like their plan. So you guys were getting information on Adrena and then visiting the auction house, or the auction house and then Adrena?
Really does sound like what is it, Ocean's 11, the auction, and then just fucking buy the slaves.
Yeah, I think it's auction than Adrena. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but if stuff goes bad at the auction house, like the heat might be on.
Yep.
Like, should we
And
at least
well, that,
confirm that the owner would be down for us, like trading them for the money that they paid?
We had the auction house backing us, though. Like if we got the essentially the okay for that, then we'd be able to use that as leverage against the whatever the rich family is.
Here's what I'm gonna suggest, and I know it's gonna take longer, but it's safer. Let's secure those disguises you guys are talking about. Let's try to convince the auction house to do the right thing, and then if they won't, even with all the evidence and all the stuff that we've gone through, then we rob them. I mean, acquire their illicit gotten gains. How are we saying this again?
yeah, that works.
Engaging in wealth redistribution.
Yeah, that stuff. See, I'm glad I got smart people here.
Well, guys, I gotta bail. We are a little bit after time and have to work too early.
Yep.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Fair enough.
See you guys next time.
Yep.
See you
See you
next
guys.
time.
See ya.
Did we level?